Hi, welcome to my latest vlog, and today is all about photography. Something that I want to discuss with you guys, and I would like to gain your opinion about what I'm about to say. But before I do anything, welcome to London. Look at this beautiful British weather that we have right here. So cloudy, drizzly, wet. It's not windy, so that's a plus side. So I just finished my first client shoot this morning and have a little bit of time before I meet my friend for lunch and dinner. Christmas stuff, right? You know, it's closer to Christmas now. So have a lot of gathering, a lot of meetings, and yeah, I'm quite excited to see all my friends that I haven't seen for months. So that's quite good. But anyway, let's go back to today's video. It's all about image quality, or flip it around, quality image. What are the differences between them? So first of all, I would like to talk a little bit about image quality. Well, image quality is quite a technical thing. It's something that reviewers used to talk about. You know, all my videos would do the same thing, whether it's going to be lens or camera, we would always talk about image quality. So this is more like a technical measurement or technical comment about how good the images can be presented or captured by the lens or the camera. As simple as that. So good image quality means you potentially get a good image, right? But that is very different to quality image, which I'm going to talk about later in this video. Why is image quality important in the first place? Okay, so for the discerning photographers, you really want the best quality lens or camera to produce the better work, right? To produce the great work that you're anticipating to do. This is, you know, obviously very important. You know, if you want the sharpest picture, if you're creating some images that requires a lot of resolving power, for instance, macro, reproduction work, and even some high-end portraiture, you know, for billboards and things like that, you need the sharpest lens to be able to extract all those detail, whether it's going to be for editing later or simply just for presenting. So image quality, of course, is very, very important. That's without a doubt. But a lot of people also think that image quality is everything. So when you spend money, you want the best. You know, that's understandable. But also at the same time, I think a lot of people may have actually got it the wrong way. So when you're starting photography, it's very easy to, you know, get into the spending spree. That's what I would call it. To spend as much money, whatever money that you can afford to get the best equipment you can get, right? That's totally fine, and but to me, ultimately, that really depending on whether you want to be a technical photographer who likes to pixel peep, who likes to analyze photographs, or you want to be an artist, a photographer who capture moments. Because we, at least, you know, in modern days, we always think about, you know, all this pixel level sharpness, all these chromatic aberration, vignettes, you know, and all the loca, all the bokeh quality and whatnot, anything, right? But if you're thinking about all the old masters, you know, way back, you talk about like the original photographers back in the 1900s, all the way to like mid-1900s, 1950s, 1960s, all the photographers ever wanted were to capture the moment, were to capture something interesting to remember. And that really is it, you know, like it's not so much about, oh, I really need to get that lens for that look. I didn't really need to get, you know, this lens because it hasn't got enough bokeh, you know, it's not fast enough. They weren't really thinking about any of that. They were more concentrating on composition, execution, timing, subjects, and all this stuff, right? Very fundamentals, yet the most important part of photography. So these days we are distracted by all kinds of stuff now, especially in digital terms. You know, we have technologies to worry about. We have to think about camera features, how fast we can shoot, how good is the autofocus, how good is the eye focus, subject tracking, pre-focus, pre-capture, whatever you name it, right? All this AI thing that you have these days. But the thing is, that doesn't take away the fact that you still have to study your subject. You still have to learn about execution, the timing, right? Okay, yeah, we have some burst mode now, which can enhance the chances of you capturing the correct moment or the best moment. But that doesn't mean that you just press the button and, you know, hope that out of that 1,000 frame, one of them will hit the subject, right? You can't really think like that. You still have to learn about, you know, when to start thinking, anticipating a photograph to happen. So this is something that I will always think about, the quality of an image. Yeah. Skate park, always nice to capture. But anyway, quality image. Why is it such an important thing? Well, to me, if you care about photography, you are a photographer who enjoy capturing the moment, creating art pieces, you know, something that means something. Quality image is always going to be over technical perfection, because you don't really need the sharpest lens to create images. You don't, you know, and all about presentation at the end of the day. Let's say if you don't get a sharp lens, you can always print a little bit smaller. You don't need to print canvas size. And to be quite honest, how many of you actually print these days? How many of you actually present a work that is big enough to fill a wall, or to display on an 8K television if you happen to have one? So this is my point. So you don't really need all those megapixels, all the sharpness of the lens to create something that is presentable. You can just use a relatively modest prime lens, or, you know, zoom lens. Even kit lenses can do the job nicely. All about the content. And so often I see that a lot of talented photographers using some very modest and old equipment to create the shots. So many competition winners also the same thing. You know, I've seen people using 10-year-old DSLRs with a 50mm 1.8, 24mm 2.8. You know, I've seen these people using really old and rather, in today's standard, technically inferior equipment to capture those winning shots. So that tells something. It's not just about image quality. It's not about the technical perfection about everything that we are craving for these days. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of that too. You know, like, of course, when I buy something, I want to buy the best that I could afford. But at the same time, I know for a fact that, you know, this is my business as well. I'm doing this for my clients, and so I do need a certain degree of quality to be able to present to them. However, with that said, you know, a lot of my clients' work, and when I use my Nikon full frame, I only use a Sony 50mm 1.8, which is not technically the sharpest lens. In fact, 7RT10 50mm 1.8 is actually sharper. So there you go. You know, like, I don't need the highest quality equipment to produce work for my client. As long as I see, you know, the execution is right, the color is correct, composition is good, and that's decent enough quality and sharpness, I'm fine with that. And my clients never really complain. There you go. Arriving at South Bank, and time to reflect what I just said about image quality and quality image. Yeah, like I said, these two terms are very similar wording. In fact, they are the same word, just flip it around. But they mean completely different things. And what do you guys think? Do you prefer image quality or quality image? I think both can be quite fun to listen to or to learn about. However, for me, at least personally, I would treasure and prioritize quality image over image quality any day. I can use any lenses to do any work. I mean, like recently, you know, I have been to San Sebastian in Spain with my family, like the video you may have just seen. For that, you know, I took some really modest lenses, and apart from the Zeiss, which is the, you know, slightly more high end, but the 28mm 5.6 is from TT Edison. So, you know, it's a very basic lens. You know, it's an actually replica of an old vintage Leica lens. So technically, it's not really the sharpest lens or the most resolving power lens. It's a very vintage lens. And then the ultra LED 50mm 1.1 similar, similar sort of thing. It gives you that kind of old rendering, old look, but technically inferior compared to modern day Noctilux or any sort of 50mm 1.4 even, maybe even 1.8. So it's not sharp lens by any means. However, the images I produced during that trip was phenomenal, to me at least. I enjoy them, I like them, and I just think they look good, So it's all about capturing that moment, capturing those. Look at me behind, all this pigeon flying around. It's just really cool. I just really enjoy, making photographs, making images that I like to see, like to remember, like that video, exactly what I said in the video. So there you go, that's today's video. Hopefully it's not too boring. And I would like to hear your thoughts about image quality and quality image, whether you agree with me, whether you have the same priorities as me. And if not, let me know your comments and why you prefer image quality over quality image. Like I said, image quality is important if you can exploit that quality from those equipment. Yeah, and that means you have to reach a certain level in terms of photography. You know how to execute a shot, you know how to compose a photograph, how to make a photograph. Yeah, I'm not just talking about snapping, I'm talking about properly, genuinely doing something meaningful. When you get that, I think only then, I think image quality will come into a big, portion of the photography, because you will want the best to execute the best, to get the best possible shot that you can create, right? So that's it. That's my 2 cents of photography. Hope you guys enjoyed today's content. I'm going to continue snapping around with my XM5 and try to get some shots, and you may see some in this video already. So if not, I'll see you all next time. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the XM5 at some point, why I bought it, and yeah, that'll be the separate video. Until next time, I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now. Peace out.